Zoom pre-departure meeting for your Kiwi and Kangaroos Oceania cruise. I'm Regina Cross. I direct the Spartan Pathways travel program, and I hope you're looking forward to the tour. To begin, I thought it would be good to introduce your host for this cruise, your MSU host. And we have Justin Norris, and he is the Assistant Vice President for Advancement Solutions and Innovation here at Michigan State University, although he actually lives in California. So anyway, Justin, do you want to go ahead and say a few words? And
Sure. I just want to say thank you all for making today, and I'm so excited to spend 2 weeks together. It sounds like we've already got some connections that are being made. So I'm delighted and looking forward to spending more time with you all. I've come to MSU as a newbie, so you're going to have to induct me in your Spartan ways. I'm still learning. But I've been with MSU for about 2 or 3 years prior to that as part of work we've been doing to support our systems, our technology. I started as a consultant and then just fell in love with advancement in the university. And so an opportunity popped up and I said I'd love to continue with the university. And it's just been a wonderful experience. And I've felt the president calls it irrational love for MSU, and I felt nothing but that, and it's been a real joy, even in my first 2 months officially. So delighted to meet all of you.
And you've probably learned, Justin, the one phrase that you have to know is when you say go green, you say,
All right.
all right.
Got it.
Okay. So now I would like to introduce Emily Dean. She is one of the program managers at, or sales assistants, or I forget, I don't know your exact title, Emily. So anyway, she is very knowledgeable of Oceania cruises, and she quite often does these pre-departure meetings for us. And so she will go ahead and talk about what's going to occur during the tour and what to expect. We're also joined by her colleague, Jess, and she works also with GoNet. So take it away, Emily.
Thank you and welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. Like Regina said, I'm going to talk about the cruise from the beginning to the middle to disembarkation. If you guys have any questions, if we can hold them till the end, or if you can put them in the chat, then I can get to them. When we at the end, we'll have some questions and answers. Right now, you guys should have all received your final documents. These come from GoNext. They come via email. There is a few attachments on them, depending on what you guys are doing. The first attachment will be your Oceania cruise summary. In the Oceania cruise summary, there's some good information. So, I mean, they say to print it and bring it with. The port information is on there. So if you guys are coming in on your own or you need the port addresses for anything, they're on there. If you've booked your flights with Oceania, they will also be listed on there. Your confirmed shore excursions and the cruise itinerary is also listed on here. So just a lot of good information on there. And then we also will send you out an important information piece of paper. This has just tips and tricks, and it'll actually be a lot of what I'm discussing today. So you don't have to take notes. It's all in pretty much these final documents. I know it's overwhelming when you get all this information to read it all. So I'm going to highlight some of the items. On the important information, the main thing that I want to point out there is the emergency contact phone number. This is our phone number for if you guys are delayed or your flight changes, or if anything occurs on your outbound travel over, you're going to want to call this phone number. It is the 612-802-5560. So while you were traveling to New Zealand, like I said, any changes, you're going to want to reach out to these people. It is an agent from our office, and it is a cell phone number. So if you get the voicemail, and you can leave a message, or if you just have a change of planes, you have the new flight number, make sure you you can text it to them also. One thing is make sure you put the arrival date. So because of the time zone change and everything, we just want to make sure, like if you are arriving a day late for some reason, we want to make sure that we know when you're arriving so we can pick you up if possible. Or if your flight's changed, we want to be able to pick you up, because if we don't know anything has changed, we can't be there to pick you up. So it's a good number to keep. Put it in your cell phone when we get off this call. Another piece of information you would have received in your final documents would be our pre-cruise information. And these would be PDF attachments if you are doing either of our pre-cruise or either of our post-cruises. This will give you more detailed idea of what you guys are doing. Once you get over there, the program managers will have a whiteboard and they will actually do a day-to-day of what everybody is doing. So you know this day, you know, breakfast is served from this time to this time. You'll get on the bus at this time. The tour will be approximately this long. So there'll be more information once you have arrived to the pre or post if you guys are doing those. Cell phones, I'd like to tell everybody to check your provider to make sure that you have international coverage. Some people are like, I don't need to have my cell phone, I'm on vacation, but you just never know when you're going to need international calling plan. Like if your flight's delayed and your connection flight is an international city, you're going to need that cell phone number. One thing with delays, with calling us also, if you guys notice that there is, let's say you're on United and the United rep is standing right there and there's nobody in line and you want to change it with the airline directly, feel free to do so, but then just let us know. And if you've booked your flights on your own, just go to your carrier and they'll be able to change your flights. I always just like to say that you're on a cruise, because this gives them a little more importance that you need to be there by disembarkation, or I'm sorry, by embarkation, so you guys can get going. Another thing about being at the airport, your luggage, if it's ever delayed, make sure you file a claim at the airport. This is very important. If you don't file a claim and we're trying to look for your luggage, it makes it much harder to find your luggage. So with this ticket claim, if some reason your luggage is delayed a little bit, take this directly to our program managers or the onboard concierge, and they will start immediately working with the airlines to help you find your luggage. People ask me about packing for the trip. Packing for the trip, if you're bringing 2 suitcases, I always like to say, put a little in each. So I put some of my clothes in one and some of my clothes in the other. This way, if one of my luggage is delayed, then I have something. I also pack one outfit in my carry-on and anything important in my carry-on, such as prescription medication. Prescription medication, if it's something that you need, I would carry it in your carry-on. Prescription medication also has to be in their original pill bottle. So you can put vitamins and supplements in like one of those pill containers, but original prescriptions you cannot. And if you are just like, oh, it's never happened before, what we just ask is that you have a printout from your doctor so you know what prescription you're on. So if you need to go to a pharmacy while traveling, then it's just really easy. You know what you need and they can contact your doctor. Another person to check with and let know that you guys are going to be gone is your credit card company and your bank. They usually like to know like when you're departing, when you're coming back, and what countries you guys are going to. Some of it is already set up with some companies, but some is not. After landing at your destination, you guys are going to pick up your luggage and go through customs. If you already haven't done so, most people will probably do it when you land in New Zealand. And everybody is going to be the same after this, whether you are going on the pre-cruise or if you're going to the Oceania ship or if you're going on your own. Once you've gone through customs, you guys are going to walk out the doors. It'll say ground transportation on a sign. And outside of these doors will be either an Oceania representative if you're going straight to the ship, or if you're going on our pre-cruise, we'll have a Go Next representative out there. Otherwise, if you're traveling on your own, you could take a Lyft or a taxi. Whatever you guys are doing, all three are going to be the same. Collect your luggage, go through customs, find ground transportation. And for Oceana, they have motor coaches, large motor coaches. So there'll be a motor coach and they circle about every 15, 20 minutes. If you think you've waited too long, feel free to go ahead and call our number, our emergency phone number, and we can try to see if there's like a delay or there's a traffic jam or something, and we can alert, that you guys are waiting there. If it is a go next pre-cruise, look for a go next sign. We usually, depending on how many people are coming in at one time, we usually work with small Sprinter vans or sedans. So, but we will also be holding a go next sign. And like I said, if you're on your own, just go ahead and find your Lyft or an Uber or whatever you want to take. You will head to the port, and once you arrived, you guys will start getting checked in. You've probably already checked in for your cruise, done the major stuff online. But once you get there, you're going to check in with them again. You're going to give them your luggage. If you haven't uploaded a picture, they're going to take your picture and they'll issue you your world card. So your world card acts as your everything for the ship. It gets you on and off. It gets you into your room. It's your credit card for on board. So if you want to buy a bottle of wine, if you're going to go to the spa, anything you purchase, if you're going to go to the store, anything you purchase online is going to be with your club card. So once you've arrived at the ship, they'll take your luggage. Anything that you want to keep with you, go ahead and keep with you, because when you get to the ship, depending on what time everybody arrives, your cabin might not quite be ready. So if your cabin's not ready, feel free to explore the ship, check out anything, stop by the program manager desk and say hi. They're on deck 4 for this ship. So stop by and say hi to them. And the Terrace Cafe is open for lunch. So you guys can do that. Once the rooms are ready, they will make an announcement and you can feel free to go to your room. When you do get to your room, please note that luggage might not quite be there, but as long as you brought it to the ship when you checked in, it will eventually get to your room. But they got a lot of luggage, especially for a 2-week trip. So it will be in your room before you take off. In your cabins, actually, let me back up about the currency. Currents, since we talked about Oceana, they're a cashless cruise line. So currency on board, you can exchange if you need to. Over in Australia and New Zealand, they say they don't take the US dollar. So, but everywhere almost these days accepts a major credit card. So I say use your major credit card. If for some reason you think you would like to take out cash, I would do so at your bank here. Or when you get over to New Zealand, go to a trusted bank like the Bank of New Zealand and take out cash there, and they will give it to you in their currency. And Oceana does it also, but they charge probably a higher fee than your bank at home or your bank over there would. But like I said, most places accept major credit cards, so the cash probably is not going to be an issue at all. Like I said, okay, so the program managers are on deck 4. If you guys are on the pre-cruise, you will receive your name badge and lanyards there. And if you're not on the pre-cruise, you can stop by and see them and get your name badge and luggage. And if you guys are too tired and you don't want to stop by, that's totally fine too, because we're going to have a Go Next reception on the night you guys, on embarkation days when the Go Next reception is, and they will bring the badges there if you don't have time to stop and collect them. The program managers for this trip are Sherry Coyle and Peter Knoll. They're there to be like your onboard concierge. They are there to help you with everything you need help with. And if they, can't do it, they will direct you to the right place. Like they can't really help with changing dining reservations or shore excursions. But a nice thing about the regatta is everything is in the same area on this ship as far as the major needs. So it's our Go Next desk, and right next to that is the concierge. And on the other side of the grand staircase is the shore excursions desk and then the reception desk. So it's all right there if you need to talk to anybody. So in your cabins, Oceana has 2 110 outlets and 2 220s. And they also have a USB-C outlet for plug-in. If you guys are going on the pre-cruise or post-cruise, I highly suggest getting an adapter. An adapter can be purchased on Amazon. They're fairly reasonable. I saw them anywhere from like $15 to $20. And another thing is, if you do have a CPAP, you might want to for sure bring the adapter, because the nightstand plug-in is only a 220 volt. So if you have a CPAP, definitely get an adapter. Otherwise, on board, if you don't think you need an adapter, you can plug in with your regular plugins. The rooms also have hair dryers, robes, slippers, large umbrellas. So if you want to take an umbrella out for the day, if it's going to be rainy, go ahead and do so. Or if you guys want to pack your own travel one, that's also okay, because their umbrellas are pretty big. Oceana also provides a water bottle in your stateroom, and throughout the ship is filling stations for the water bottle. So when you're getting off the ship, I don't know if anybody's cruised with Oceana before. They used to hand out plastic bottles of water, and they no longer do that. It's the water bottle that they'll provide you in your room, and then you can find filling stations on board. Internet packages are part of your cruise, and you get 2 per room. So if there's more than 2 of you in a room, you will have to share with another person, or you can purchase it once you get on board. People ask me about internet all the time and how it is. It's really going to depend on what you're doing and where you're at. So if you're out in the ocean, you might not get as best coverage as if you were closer to land. And if you're working and you wanted to do a Zoom call like this, probably wouldn't be able to do it, but just checking emails and stuff would be fine. And if you feel like you need to work, I always say, give it a day, two days, see what you need. If you need to upgrade, you can do so on board with reception for a fee. Another thing in your cabin is going to be the currents. And if you haven't been on board Oceana before, this is like their daily newsletter. It is their daily newsletter. And they'll put it at turn down service on your bed. It's probably the most important piece of information they will put in your room. And they do put a lot of stuff in your room. So, but this is the good piece. It's for what's happening the next day. It tells you what port you're going to, tells you what time the ship is pulling in, tells you what time you have to be back on the ship, emergency phone numbers for the ship in case you're exploring on your own, the drink of the day, high tea, trivia. It just tells you the agenda for the next day. So when I get off the ship, I either take a picture just so I know when I need to be back on the ship, or for the emergency phone numbers, or it's really not, it's like 4 pages. You could just put it in your backpack too if you want to do that. There's just a lot of good information on it. Oceana is a country club casual, and what this means to them is no shorts, no jeans, and no beach flip-flops. And this goes for the specialty dining and for the grand dining room. So, beach flip-flops, like you can wear open-toed sandals because it's going to be warm where you guys are going. I checked the temperatures before on this call, and currently they're rated about like 68 to 77 in New Zealand, and Australia's high 80s. So it'll be different between the two, but so definitely you can wear open-toed shoes, just no beach flip-flops. The rest of this cruise ship, casual, wear what you'd like. Off the ship, definitely whatever you want to wear, whatever you're comfortable in for doing shore excursions. The mornings, especially in New Zealand, could start out a little cooler. So I always like to say to dress in layers. I definitely would check to see about the rainfall, if there's any. Maybe you want to bring a rain jacket with. It just really depends on the weather once you guys get there. Comfortable shoes. I don't know if I said that. Comfortable shoes, big thing. For this ship, the laundry services are on deck 7, and they are included in your cruise fare. They have soap and dryer sheets, and the machines are free. So you just do your own laundry if you need to. They also offer laundry service at a fee. For this ship, Polo and Toscana is the restaurants on board. And if you haven't booked your reservations by now, I would highly recommend doing so. They're specialty dining, and specialty just for that. They're special, so they don't seat the entire cruise ship. They only seat a few hundred or a couple hundred. So if you've already logged in and noticed and you're like, oh, the times are full, or you meet somebody when you're on board and I want to dine with the Smiths, you can always try to change reservations once you get on board. And at the concierge, or I'm sorry, up in Terrace Cafe, there's a maitre d' in the mornings that will usually help with that evening's dining reservations. Like if you're like, oh, tonight I want to, see if we can combine tables because we have already the same reservations. You can talk to them and they can see what they can do. But like I said, if you haven't booked dining, definitely give us a call and one of our agents can help you book dining. And I've noticed that sometimes people want to dine on a two-top, and that will push your time back a little later because they have less two-top tables than they do. So if you say you want to book with another party, even if you don't know the party, the times are usually a little different and more open. So that's another thing to keep in mind. By now, you guys should have received your list of onboard events. Don't have to memorize this. You will get a handout when you get on board in case there's any changes. But for now, you guys, on the February 24th, so at the embarkation day, we're going to have a welcome reception. This is going to be for you guys, and it's going to be for all of our other schools on board. This is where if you haven't met the program manager, you will meet them. They'll tell you what they're there to do for you, go over any questions you might have. But it's really just more of a night for you guys to get together and meet each other and talk and have some canapes and some drinks. Some people ask me what other schools are on board with you guys. So I'll just give you a few here, some of the top people with you guys. We got Oklahoma State, we got Penn State, the Traveling Aggies, Ohio State, Wisconsin, William and Mary, Montana State. So those are a few. And usually on our program manager desk, they have a printout of every single school that's going to be on there. So if if there's just a Mississippi State, they got 2 passengers on there. And if somebody's like, oh, I know people from Mississippi State. So you can always, or the program managers can tell you if you have any questions about who else is on board. And so for the next night is going to be the captain's reception, and the captain's reception happens everywhere on board. But if you want to see the main show with the officers and the staff, that'll be in the lounge, but any bar will have the drinks and the canopies served. But that is time to be announced. So they'll probably do it depending on when the captain says that it's available. So watch for that in your currents. And then on Thursday, February 27th, we're going to have a reception for Michigan State. So you guys will have that. And then on March 2nd, Sunday, we're going to have a group photo. So you guys will all meet at the grand staircase. And this is a night that if you're going to wear school colors, it's a good night to wear school colors. Regina, are you sending a flag? Yeah, okay, for sure. Okay, so and then you guys will hold the flag and we'll take your picture on the grand staircase, and then we'll take you guys to the grand dining room, and you guys will have a group dinner that evening. So those are your onboard events. And like I said, you will get that handout on board, or if you have any questions, we can send it out to you again. Just let us know. Let's see here. Shore excursions. The tickets will be in your cabin. So when you get in your cabin, you're going to want to check. They're usually on the vanity in an envelope, and they'll be your tickets for the entire trip. So if you're waitlisted for anything right now, check to see if it's cleared. By going in and checking, just making sure you don't have 2 tickets for one day. If you have 2 tickets for one day, obviously something is cleared, and then you're going to need to go to the shore excursions desk and let them know that which one you don't want, so you're not charged for both of them. But tickets will be in there, and on the back of the shore excursions tickets, there will be the date of when you need to cancel that shore excursion by if you want to cancel something. So if you want to cancel shore excursion, please let them know, because otherwise, if you're outside of if you're inside you won't get the penalty, then you won't get charged for it. Same with dining reservations. If you guys don't think you're going to do dining, days can get to be long when you have shore excursions. And then sometimes, dining, you're just like, I just want to eat at the Terrace Cafe tonight, or you arrive, it could be any reasons. Just let somebody know if you want to cancel. It just opens up things for other people. When you guys get on board, I also want to let you know Shore Excursions desk. So if you guys want to talk to them the first day, that desk is pretty busy, but don't get discouraged. They usually have 4 people working the desk because it is the most popular day to make changes or do some bookings or just have any questions about Shore Excursions. So you can get in line, chat with them, ask them any questions, book any Shore Excursions that you want. One thing that we ask that you guys do is on your Shore Excursions ticket, if you just write MS in the corner, this will help you. Like if Justin's on a shore excursion and you guys are on the same shore excursion as him, that'll make sure you guys are on the same buses together by putting the MS in the corner. And if you're not with any other Michigan State people, you'll be with other Go Next passengers. So for shore excursions, you're going to want to, they'll depart from the lounge every morning. So in the morning, you'll want to go down there maybe 5-10 minutes before your ticket time and take a seat, and then they will call your shore excursion number, or they'll call the name of the shore excursion. You'll go up then and get your ticket. And the way to ensure that you get your Go Next ticket is by going to the Go Next desk. And you'll know it's the Go Next desk because our program managers will be standing there and they'll be the ones handing out the tickets. The other desk will have Oceana staff from the destination services, and they'll be handing out tickets to their passengers. So just always get in line with the Go Next people. And then once you've got your bus ticket, unless they call your ticket number right away, go ahead and take a seat until they're ready to depart for your tour, and then you guys will all depart together. Another thing in your cabin, TVs have your invoices on them. I like to talk about the invoices just to make sure that you're checking them. They're live. So if you charge something, it's going to go on your account right away. So I just like to always check to make sure that, no, I didn't have a spa treatment, or yes, I did order, whatever it is, just check your receipts on the TV. And if you see something that's not yours, you'll just want to go down to reception and let them know. And another or a tip for reception is the last day. So the night before disembarkation, that desk is very busy. So if you see something right away, I would just go handle it right away and get that taken care of. Another thing on your invoices, it'll probably come later in the middle of the cruise ship, will be the gratuities. And now the gratuities go for anybody you've come in contact with for the entire ship. And they are $23 a day per person for penthouse and above. And then for concierge and down, they're $18 a day per person. And people ask, can I change my tip amount? Yes, you can. You can do that with reception. If you say, I only worked with Bob, Sally, and Ralph the entire time, and I only want to tip them, you can definitely go and talk to reception, and then you can just tip those people yourself. It's really up to you, but they will be automatically added to your invoice. So if you don't do anything with them, that's completely fine. But if you want to, go to reception. Tipping for shore excursions, people ask me about this too. So it's really up to you guys. I don't know if anybody knows this, but the United States, we're really heavy tippers. So everybody always wants to know what to tip. So I just give a little bit of a guideline that I've learned over the past 13 years traveling with Go Next. But for full day tours, I see people do like the guide for a full day, like 8 hours, a guide $5, and then the driver $3. And if it's a half day tour, $3 for the guide, $2 for the driver. Now this also, it's just, if you like the content, if the shore excursion was good, if you could understand them, just, it's all based on the level of service you get. So, and if you don't want to tip, you don't have to tip either. They're not expecting a tip. It's just people ask me what to recommend. Another thing you're going to get in your room is a disembarkation letter. Disembarkation letters are just going to ask you to verify your return flight, just to make sure nothing has changed so they can get you off the ship at the correct time to get you to wherever you're going. So if you're going to the airport, just put your flight number down. If you're doing our post-cruise program, you can just write down the post-cruise program with Go Next. They're fully aware of what that is. And if you're getting off on your own and exploring on your own, extending on your own, just go ahead and write that down. And then you can write down what time you'd like to. For the post cruise, we try to get you guys off all together around 9 o'clock. And then the other ones are based on your flight times. So with your disembarkation, once you've filled out this form and handed it back into them, they'll then give you a disembarkation ticket. Disembarkation, if nobody's been on a cruise before, so for disembarkation, you're going to gather up all of your luggage, except for what you need the next morning, and you put your suitcase outside the door. So anything that you need, makeup, deodorant, toothbrush, outfit for the next day, keep that in the cabin with you with your carry-on, and then you put the rest of the luggage outside. If you're like, oh, I can't do that, you can feel free to bring your own luggage down, but if you want the porters to grab it, it needs to be the night before. And then they'll bring it down to a holding area. It depends on each port, I guess. And I have not been to the Sydney port, but like most ports, down when you get off the cruise for disembarkation, you are going to go down into this holding area. And like when you get your disembarkation ticket, it might be ticket number blue 7. And then they'll say blue 7 ready to disembark. And then you guys all disembark. And you'll go down and there'll be all this luggage. And then you'll want to look for the flag that says 7, and it could be blue. But you just want to look for your number that correlates with your disembarkation. And you need to grab your luggage and then just bring it over to wherever you're going. Somebody will assist you with your luggage, but the porters don't know that it's yours. So you need to actually claim your luggage and bring it to, if you're going on the post cruise with Go Next, or if you're doing the Oceania transfer, or if you're doing a taxi, just go ahead and bring it where you need to bring it. And then your luggage will go with you. If you're on the post cruise, like I said, you're going to probably, well, they'll help you with your luggage, and then you'll go on a cruise, little tour, and then to your hotel. And program managers will be with you for that. So feel free to ask them any questions that you have. They'll probably be split up on these post cruises because we have 2 different ones. I do know that was a lot of information. I don't know if I talk fast because I'm from Minnesota, but I talk fast. So let me look in the comment or the chat here and see who meets us upon arrival for the flight in Auckland. So it depends on, so Howard, if you guys are coming in on the Go Next pre-cruise, Go Next will meet you for your flight arrival. If you're coming in on the day you board the ship, Oceania will meet you, as long as you have Oceania transfers. So, and if you have any questions about what you have, because some people, if you book cruise only, the transfers are not included unless you purchase them. So if you have any questions about how you're being transferred, feel free to reach out to our agents and they will be able to help you. Let's see here, Howard, I'm just looking, I do have you guys' rooming list, so I can kind of look. So it does look like you have Oceania Air booked, and you do have arrival tour. I'm sorry, you have an arrival transfer with Oceania. So Oceania will pick you up, Howard. Let's see here. When will we get seat assignments for flights on Qantas? I guess it depends. Jess, have you been getting, Jess actually helps Oceania with the air. Have you been getting a lot of questions about this? Is it like a blocked flight? Your other.
Are they in the post-cruise program at all?
Yes, they
For
are.
the 4-night?
Yep.
So if you're on the 4-night program, you'll be able to select your seats when you check in for your flight. And the program managers are aware of this. They have the list of everybody that's on the program, and they'll be able to help, and they'll go over it with you guys when you're in Sydney before departing for Cairns.
Perfect. Thank you.
Can I just say that we're doing the post, and we called Qantas and they did assign us seats. If you call them now, you can get
Ooh.
them. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I wonder, let's see here. What was your name again?
Teresa Larson. They knew what group we were in. They could see what
Okay.
group we were in,
Oh, okay.
but they let us pick our seats already.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess if you guys want to call Qantas, you might have been lucky and got seats, or maybe everybody can. But yeah, if everybody wants to try to call Qantas, feel free to call them.
Yep.
WhatsApp telephone number. We do not. We just have that 1-800 number. That's our cell phone, but you can text us.
There's one thing Emily forgot to mention is that everybody should have a visa for Australia and New Zealand. Your Australia visa you'll need for when you are boarding your first flight leaving the US. They'll be checking that you have that. Another way to do it is if you go onto the airline site, they usually have like a fly ready is with Delta, and you can make sure that you have the correct documentation needed for your flight and where you're going to. Because the Australia visa is one that you did on your own, and then the New Zealand one is one that you filled out, but it was purchased through Oceania. You should have received confirmation via email for both of them, so you should print it out just in case that something goes wrong with your passport. You just have a backup copy of that visa to bring with you.
Perfect.
Great. Does anyone else have questions?
Oh, do either of the countries have vaccine requirements? Proof of anything?
No, nope, not right now.
All right, there is a question here. What about the credit for prepaid Australia visa? Oh, I skipped one too.
So the Australia one was not prepaid through Oceania, only the New Zealand one for the $99 per person. The Australia one is one that you would have done on your own, and it was around 20 Australian dollars, so maybe $10 to $12 US.
All right, another question. I'm traveling alone. Should I pack in 2 smaller bags or 1 larger one in case of delayed arrival of the large one?
I would just do one luggage. I wouldn't take any more than you need to, and just make sure you just have an extra outfit, or like you guys are going to be in some nice weather. Like one thing I know for ladies, it's hard to find a swimsuit that you like. So I always pack my swimsuit in my carry-on too, and maybe an extra pair of shoes. I definitely wouldn't burden yourself with an extra suitcase. Unless you want to. It's not, I don't want to jinx anybody, but it's not often that luggage gets delayed. So
Yeah.
it should be fine. I wouldn't bring 2 suitcases if you don't have to.
Yeah, I just recommend if you have a carry-on, if you want to fit anything that you know, like if you have a favorite blouse that you have, pack that with you so that way you know. And then also too, just remember that for your adapters, make sure you pack those in your carry-on too, and any medications or copies of your passport and all that. Keep that with you in a carry-on, just in case for some reason, you never know, your luggage could get delayed. One nice thing to do is also if you, for the airlines that you're flying, some of them have apps in which you can track your luggage, so you kind of know where it is. And another thing too is really important is if you've been on prior trips and you have your luggage and there's that little white sticker on your luggage that has like a barcode on it, take those all off, because what can happen is when they go to scan your luggage, they might not scan the right tag. So it's important to take all those tags off before you get to the airport. That way they're scanning the correct location.
I lost the Zoom for a while, so I missed about how much cash. And are the tips on a credit card? Is that how those are handled on board?
So for on board for your cruise, the gratuities go straight onto your invoice, and then they'll go straight to your credit card. And as far as cash, I guess it really depends on where you're going to be visiting. Most places these days take a credit card. So I would say you probably don't need a lot of cash. If you do need it, you can take it out over there at a reputable bank with your ATM, and then it gives you back their local currency. But most places take credit cards these days.
So the tips for the guides and whatever on how do you pay them? You pay them in American dollars, and they change them themselves?
Yes, they do accept the US dollars for
Okay.
sure.
That's all I
Yeah.
need to know. Okay, thank
Okay.
And I think
All right. I think
I think-
Howard had his hand raised.
Paul did, I think.
Pardon?
I think Paul had his hand raised,
Oh, it
but
was
he's on
Paul.
mute.
I'm sorry. Yes, Paul had his hand raised, and I don't know if he's
Yeah,
still with
I
us.
did. Yeah, I had a
Okay,
couple
there, yeah.
questions. Hey,
Okay, good.
Emily, our flight gets in at 6 a.m. and we get on the boat after 11. What are we going to be doing in the meantime? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, so let me just cruise back here. I was looking at a document here, Oceana. Okay, so for guests, let me just make sure you have an Oceana transfer. You Paul Jacobs?
I am, and we do have the transfer.
Perfect. Okay, so it says here for guests who are arriving before 7 a.m. Once you've cleared customs, you'll be met by Oceana staff, and they're gonna take you to breakfast somewhere just because they won't be ready for you yet. And then they'll
Yeah, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then I had another question. Do eSIM cards work pretty well, or do you know?
I'm not sure. For
You-
me, Emily has frozen, so
Okay.
So
Regina, would you know, do you know
you
by any
shouldn't
chance?
Yeah.
need, you shouldn't need a SIM card for your phone. You should be able
Okay.
to add an international plan on. It's usually like $10 a day. Since you
Okay.
guys are on a little bit of longer cruise, you can see if the day-by-day plan is better, or if you can just add it on like a month plan, if that's
Okay.
a cheaper option.
All right. Thanks, Jess. We'll do that. I
Yep.
think that was it for me, you guys. Thank you.
I have one other. I had checked, we have like a 52-minute layover in Los Angeles on Delta. And I called Delta and theoretically they're the same terminal and we shouldn't have a problem. But it's scary to be doing an international flight and having less than an hour layover.
So I would just say, like, if anything were to happen, that's when you would want to call us. But it is a legal connection time, so that's what the airlines offer us. I know it doesn't make people feel good on international flights. But just, and if for some reason you need to, like, I've seen people on airplanes say, I have a short connection, or ask the flight attendant and tell them you have a short connection. Can you get off the plane first?
Do you want me to ask?
There's a few things that you can do, but if anything were to happen, then you would just want to reach out to us, and then we could get you rescheduled with Oceana on a different flight.
Yeah, no, I checked the connecting flights and they're awful if we miss this. It's not a good thing.
Another thing that we've told guests on the recent trip that we have, because we have guests in Australia right now, is that you may not need wheelchair assistance physically, but it will help you get to your next gate faster. They'll just assist you and get you right off the plane and then bring you to the next flight. So again, you may not need it, you may not want it, but it's something that
I
we do
missed
suggest.
I missed what you said to do.
Add wheelchair assistance on with the airline. You may not need it or want it, but it's a good option to get you through the airport faster. Staff will help you.
Okay, there is a question. Is the adapter for New Zealand and Australia the same as United Kingdom?
Ooh,
Yeah, I don't know that off the hand.
I
I
bought
d-
a New Zealand adapter. It's the 3 one. It's the big one on the top and the 2, it looks like that.
Let's
You can
say,
get
yeah.
it from Amazon. It's like $17.
There's also adapters out there that have adapters, like you can buy one adapter and it'll have the prongs for every one needed around the world. So you only need that one. That could be one that you look at.
Yeah, we actually have those as one of our options for gifts. So, Jane, if you need one of those, let me know and I'll send one to you. Teresa, did you have a question?
Just my husband has a CPAP machine, and what about distilled water? Is that available on ship, or should we purchase some off ship and bring it on?
No, if you want to go ahead and you can give our agents a call and we can put it in your record. But we are really close to departure, so we might have already sent our list over to Oceana. But when you get on board, talk to your cabin steward and they can get you distilled water. But you can also call us and we can add it to your booking, so the program manager knows.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Great. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Emily, and Jess. This is very helpful for people, I know. It's always nice to kind of meet everyone this way as well beforehand. Uh-oh, it looks like somebody else. Oh, you're clapping. Okay, good. I thought what it'd be nice to do is to kind of go around and have people introduce themselves. So I'll just call out your name based on what your sign is here. And so let's start with Teresa. So Teresa, do you want to just say kind of a little bit of information about yourself, like, when you graduated from Michigan State, or if you didn't graduate, what your connection is with MSU, if you're traveling with friends, so forth and so on. So go ahead, Teresa,
Okay.
you can start if you like.
Hi, I'm Teresa Larson, graduated in 82, traveling with my husband, Steve. He also graduated in 82. This is our third trip with MSU Pathways. We did Alaska a couple years ago and had a great time. So looking forward to meeting people and seeing some beautiful countries.
Great, thank you. Okay, how about Paul?
Yeah, my wife, Mary Jane, she's the Spartan. We both graduated in 1976. I'm a Florida Gator, so don't give me a hard time. And we did the Italy tour with the MSU group 2 years ago. It was really fun.
Good, good. Betsy. Oh, I'm afraid you're muted, Betsy.
There, okay.
Yes. There
Can
you
hear me?
go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I am not a graduate from Michigan State, but I'm traveling with friends, and I've seen my friend Barry on here. She's on, and her husband is a Michigan State grad, so they invited me to go along with them, and I accepted. So I will be traveling with the Simpsons.
Wonderful. Okay. How about Howard?
Yeah, hi there. Yeah, I'm not a Michigan State graduate. We've been joining another couple. I'm actually a University of Michigan graduate, so I know a lot of people in Michigan that we've made contacts over the years. So yeah, we're looking forward to the trip.
All right. And next one I have, it's not a name, it just says Galaxy S20. If you want to come on and say a few words, it would be great. All right. Okay. So if you don't have any other questions, or if you do have questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I certainly, it looks like we do. Oh, yes. Howard, I will send a plug adapter to you. Okay, so if you do have questions after we end this call, feel free to reach out to me and I can make sure that we get those answered for you. Also, too, if you haven't signed up for our Bright Crowd online directory, I've sent a couple of emails with the information and the link to do that if you like. If you, for some reason, you can't find that email and would like to still sign up for the directory, feel free to let me know and I can send that out to you. It's just a nice way to kind of get to know everyone beforehand. So see what maybe commonalities you have. So also too, this is being recorded. So for some reason, you couldn't recall what something that Emily said. I will be sending out once I have to edit the video. And once that happens, I will send that out to you so that you can rewatch that if you like. So again, thank you so much for joining us. And I wish you safe travels and a wonderful time.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Go green, everyone.
Thank you.
Go white.